Guys, Comic Boom here to review Shazam number 2. This comic book's a little late, as you can tell by the Christmas-themed cover. But, you know, it is Jeff Johns, and I don't know, I mean, it's becoming a habit. These things are coming out more later and later all the time. But at least it's coming out because it is a good comic book. And this comic book, it still continues with the fun and the hope and the sense of rebirth, if you will. And, yeah, it's not that bad. And I just got to show off. I got to show off my... I guess I'm exactly like Bill Maher describes. I'm a white male. I don't suffer from opiate addiction, although I do have potential alcohol addiction. I do have some action figures, and I do enjoy comic books. I mean, and this is Shakespearean, this stuff. This is literature. Believe me, this is literature. In any event, that's getting old quick, isn't it? Doesn't matter, guys. Pick up Shazam number 2 if you just want some fun. And if you want to harken back to your childhood. God forbid, is it really that bad? Is it really that bad in this day and age to have a reminder of a more innocent time? To have a reminder of childhood where people actually got along? Where people as children actually strove to get along better than they now do as adults? Really? Is that bad, Bill? Anyways, just throwing that out there. This is a good comic. This is young Billy Batson. He is basically living with a foster family, along with his foster brothers and sisters by the name of Freddie, Mary, Darla, Pedro, and Eugene. And all of them share the power of Shazam, and they share different aspects of the power of Shazam, which basically, when they turn into Shazam, when they utter that magic word, they turn into the best aspect of themselves. The first issue ended with a little bit of a cliffhanger because apparently Billy Batson's father showed up, or somebody who claims to be Billy Batson's father, and looks an awful lot like Shazam when Billy Batson turns into Shazam. So it's kind of interesting. Now, where does that go? Well, the foster parents are concerned because they love their foster kids and they love Billy Batson and they don't want to lose him. But at the same time, they realize that if this person really is Billy Batson's father, they're going to probably have to, look into that a little bit more. And, of course, they discover that all of the kids have disappeared. All of them have disappeared. And where are they? Well, they're in the subway, where at the end of last issue, they came across this giant map of the Magic Lands. And in particular, this issue, they basically hop on the magical subway to go to a Magic Land. And they start exploring the Magic Lands. And interestingly enough, we finally meet Dr. Savannah. Now, this is the first introduction of Dr. Savannah in this series. Those of you who don't know much about Dr. Savannah, I'm just going to give you a little quick background here. He's got this glowing eye. And basically, his background here, I recommend you buy the trade if you want. You don't need to. It'll be explained in here. It's not fully explained in this issue, but it will in subsequent issues, I'm sure. Dr. Savannah, just a little bit of background, was basically somebody who was wanted to use science, believed in science, hoping that science could save his family, but it didn't, and science to improve his health, but it didn't. And so he started looking toward magic, and that brought him to the tomb of Black Adam. And upon trying to open the tomb of Black Adam, he got basically electrocuted, and the bolt of lightning that he was hit with gave him a magic eye and bestowed upon Dr. Savannah the ability to actually see magic, or see magical realms, to see magical doorways. And he actually saw the entrance to the Rock of Eternity. And he actually helped Black Adam in that original series. He actually helped Black Adam get together, or to acquire the 7 deadly sins, which were embodied in various humans all over, I believe, New York City, or wherever they were. In any event, ultimately they were defeated by Shazam, and the Shazam family, Mary Marvel and the rest of the gang. And ultimately, Black Adam, when Black Adam was defeated, Billy Batson and the rest of the gang, they never actually knew about Dr. Savannah. Dr. Savannah managed basically to escape. They didn't even know about his involvement because he was on the sidelines. Now, Dr. Savannah it's revealed in here, he is basically only 40 years of age, but he looks a lot older. Now, why does Dr. Savannah look older? It's because he's in mortal form and his body contains a lot of magic. But his body, while the magic allows him to see magical things, a human body apparently is not a very good is not a very good vessel to hold magic, and so it prematurely ages you unless you have the proper vessel. Probably one can assume that Shazam, who is when Billy Batson turns into Shazam, the only reason Billy Batson can contain the magic is because he's in the body of Shazam. Ditto for Mary Marvel and the rest of the, I guess, Marvel family. So Dr. Savannah is looking for a way, presumably, to try to obtain a better vessel for the magic, and he's going to do that with the help of Dr. Mind. Now, at the end of the original Shazam series, which was contained in the as backups in the Justice League New 52 run, Dr. Savannah, after escaping and not suffering the same fate as Black Adam, he comes across Mr. Mind. Now, Mr. Mind is here, and in a beautiful one-page spread here, the kids end up, the Marvel family ends up at this sort of like this wonderland in this magical realm, in one of the magical realms that they take the subway to, this magical subway to, and there's a beautiful, two-page spread of Mr. Mind, and basically Mr. Mind, his name is Maxivermus Mind, more commonly known as Mr. Mind, a despot, a magical creature with an insatiable appetite for supernatural power, and his singular goal is nothing less than consuming and controlling all power of the magic lands. And remember, all the magic lands embody even such places as Gemworld, where Amethyst is, and Amethyst, of course, is in the pages of the Wonder Comics series, Young Justice, so you can check that out. So one can hope that while everyone's crying for a rebirth, between the Wonderland comics and Shazam, that maybe DC is going to be moving toward a little bit, we're going to be getting hopefully the best of both worlds here. We got the darker takes with DC, the DC Metal and the Justice League and the Heroes in Crisis, and we have the more fun takes of Shazam and the Wonder Comics line with the Wonder Twins and the Young Justice and Naomi, which just came out this week as well from Bendis. So I think, let's choose to be hopeful for DC, notwithstanding their 3% shuffling or removal of their of some of their workers or creative force. But in any event, this was a very good comic. This is enjoyable. This is a lot of fun. Now, basically, Mr. Mind is, even though he's a worm, he's just a stupid-looking worm. He apparently has a very powerful intellect, and he's teaming up with Dr. Savannah. We don't exactly know what they're doing yet. Meanwhile, all of the Marvel family, and that's including Billy, Freddie, Mary, Darla, Pedro, and Eugene, they're all in the Magic Lands now, sort of enjoying that carnival ride and enjoying where they're at, and they seem to be having a lot of fun, and they end up meeting at the end with the cliffhanger on this issue. They end up meeting who apparently someone is going to be the 7th champion of the Marvel family, this King Kid. Now, I'm not sure if this King Kid is going to end up being a villain at some point, but it's interesting. The plot thickens a little bit here. We got a lot of great characters. This is a lot of fun. So you want fun, you want hope, you want rebirth, pick up Shazam #2. Guys, tell me what you think of it. Follow me on Twitter at Metropolis40. Hit the subscribe button, and until next time, Comic Boom out.